Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating set of sources that look at something we all deal with, the psychology of being offended and that little voice of entitlement inside us.
Yeah, and we're looking at it all through a spiritual lens.
hmm
Our mission today is to really unpack this core claim that when you're wronged, choosing to yield your rights isn't weakness.
No, not at all. It's framed as
Yeah.
this really purposeful, transformative act.
And it hits you immediately because it's so counterintuitive.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that immediate human reflex. The second you feel overlooked or taken advantage of,
hmm
your soul just it demands recognition, it demands justice. You start rehearsing the whole thing in your head.
You build a case. And that leads right into what this material calls entitlement. It's this deep belief that you are simply owed a life without friction. You're owed comfort.
Right. And it's easy to trust in a higher plan when everything is comfortable and going your way. But what about when it's costly?
Yeah.
When being humble feels, well, humiliating.
That's the harder question. And the sources push it even further. They ask, when things go really wrong, do you find yourself quietly accusing God?
Accusing him of being unfair in what he allows to happen. Wow.
Exactly. And that's the friction point. But the material offers this profound reassurance. It says God is never careless with your pain.
Okay, that's a huge claim. How do they support that? This idea that nothing gets to you without first passing through his wise and loving hands.
It completely flips the script. It says that being exploited or offended isn't proof that you've been abandoned. It's actually the mechanism for deep and purposeful work.
So the injustice itself has a purpose.
Yes, the core idea is this. What wounds your pride is being used to heal your heart. The pain exposes what the sources call your hidden self-righteousness.
That need to always be right.
The very same. And it loosens your grip on that entitlement. It sort of invites you to surrender those rights.
Which is a terrifying thought. We're taught to stand up for our rights. So how do we even begin to do that?
The sources give us a foundational model. Christ. He was sinless. He had, every right to defend himself.
And yet, he stayed silent before his accusers.
He chose silence. He was mocked, falsely judged, but entrusted himself fully to the Father.
And the argument is that following him isn't just about admiring that from a distance.
Exactly. It's about becoming like him. It's about walking that same path of surrender and humility. If that was his path, why would we expect ours to be one of constant ease?
So let's get to the payoff here. If you actually do this, if you lay down those rights and that sense of entitlement, what's the spiritual gain? What do you get back for that loss of control?
The promise is that these experiences are never wasted. They're used to grow things like patience, gentleness, and maybe the most powerful thing, the ability to love without demanding anything in return.
So by laying down your rights, you're actually making room for something else.
You're making room for grace to rise up within you. Endurance isn't weakness, it's a declaration. It says that God's plan matters more than your immediate comfort.
So choosing to trust him when you're offended, that's its own testimony.
Yeah.
Saying, he is your defender, even if nobody else sees your quiet obedience.
And that leaves you with this final thought, a promise, really. God allows what he intends to redeem. What feels like a loss today might just become your greatest spiritual gain. What humbles you now might be the very thing that deepens your intimacy with him forever. The calls to yield to that
Right.
cross-shaped path, trusting that it leads to resurrection, refinement, and a joy that lasts.